Yo, what's up guys? I am PokeaimMD and this is a Wi-Fi battle. Yeah, we still do these, outside of League format too. But yeah, this is the start of a new series on my channel for summer pretty much, on my channel as well as Blunder's channel. And we're going to be calling it King of Summer, which is just a fancy name for us playing like a best of 10 or maybe a best of 12. Every single week we're just battling in OU, and by the time summer ends, whoever has the highest record wins. But it's just a little fancy name for that. It's just us battling each other. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing a post-commentated Wi-Fi battle. Been a little while, or a post-commentated narrated or narration. Yeah, see, you already know it's been a little while because I can't even get the narration right. And it's also 3:41 a.m. So this is actually a real big throwback because this is prime time for when I used to record my Wi-Fi battles back in the day. This is where I'm Tired was born. Okay. Anyway, this is a Wi-Fi battle versus my boy Blunder. If you want, you guys can go ahead and check him out after the battle. And I'm going to be doing my best to win. Now, Blunder is actually using his standard Blunder team. We like to call this Blunder Metacham. He used this in, I believe he used this versus CBB for the Smokeground Premier League. So I know the team very well. I actually have the team myself. I know that it is dual status Rotom, Healing Wish U-Turn, Stealth Rock Jirachi, Adamant Mega Metacham, Scarf Landers, Specs Keldeo, and Life Orb 3 attacks Latios. Like I said, I know the team really well. Now my team is also a rain team that I've been using for almost a year and a half now, and I'm pretty sure Blunder knows it as well. It's Scarf Rotom Wash, U-Turn Scizor, Specs Kingdra, Life Orb, Thunder, 4 attacks Latios, Tank Chomp, and then Spadef Toad, which is pretty standard in this generation. So Blunder knows my team really well. I know his team really well. I decided that my best lead is Rotom Wash simply because I'm faster than his entire team except for Scarf Landers, which is only going to go for U-Turn. So I can get off a fast Volt Switch versus everything. He leads off with the Latios, as I do lead off with my Scarf Rotom Wash. Now, like I said, I am Scarf. I said it like 4 times, so I know that I can outspeed this thing and hit it with the Volt Switch. Now, I do have a Scizor on my team. It is my only Steel type. It is my only Latios switching, which is precisely why I actually hard switch directly into my Politoed to bring up the rain. I guess you could say scout for the fire move, but there was no scouting. I knew that he would go for HP fire right here. I'm playing Blunder, and he does reveal the hidden power fire. I also knew that Politoed could take a Draco, a Life Orb Draco, if he decided to drop one, and I am Spadef, so I could take that. Now, I decide instead of pivoting out into Scizor, I decide just to throw off a Scald, kind of expecting him to switch out, or even just going for the Side Shark, or even maybe a double HP Fires. He brings out his Keldeo. The reason he made this Keldeo play was because he knows that I'm U-Turn Scizor as well, since he does know the team. So if I brought out Scizor, I got off a U-Turn versus anything, and Kingdra got a kill. So it was a good play on my opponent's part. Now, I do have a Latios, however, I don't want him going for Specs Icy Wind, and I also know that my Toad could take any hit. It's also very likely that he won't go for the Secret Sword, so I decided to Toxic him. That way he is always going to be 2-hit KO'd by my Scald from Kingdra, even if Rain wasn't up. Also, because if my Scizor ended up setting up a Swords Dance, I could take him on. So he makes a really nice play, predicts me to go out into my Kingdra, so he pulls a double out into his Metacham, as I am able to bring up my Kingdra. Now, because Rain is up, obviously Swift Swim is activated, so I will be faster than his entire team, and I can just spam Spec Scald. I 2-hit KO Jirachi with the Rain up, I OHKO Metacham, I 2-hit KO Keldeo, I 2-hit KO Latios, and I knock out Landorus, and Rotom is also 2-hit KO'd, if not severely damaged. So that was a really nice double on Blunder's part, though it did force a rain turn wasted on my part, and also it got off a bit of chip damage from his Metacham to my Kingdra. But I am going to be able to spam the Spec Scald right here, as Latios is going to come out. Good play on my opponent's part as well. Shouts to Blunder for doing this play, because it also wastes 2 more turns of the rain. So again, a very solid part, or very solid play on Blunder's part, as Keldeo is going to come out. I do not want to stay in because Spec Secret Sword can definitely take me out. So I am going to go out to my Latios, as Blunder makes a very, very, very nice double. Takes advantage of the fact that he knows that I will go out to Latios, makes the double out to Jirachi, and at this point he can get up his Stealth Rock, as well as the fact that Rain ends. So I'm not in the best of positions, but I do have my Tank Chomp, which is a pretty safe switch in and a pretty solid bet for me, because I can get up my Stealth Rock. I know that I can take any hit that Blunder wants to go for, as he's just going to go for a Stealth Rock anyway. Now, I might have more speed than Jirachi, but I definitely prioritize Stealth Rock because Stealth Rock ensure that Scald 2 KOs Rotom 100%, Spec Scald in the rain. It also ensures that Landorus is going to be worn down, Keldeo is going to be worn down for a potential Scizor sweep. He made an immediate double into his Medicham, not even wanting to take the Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet damage. Really nice plays on Blunder's part, as I am going to expect him to go for the Ice Punch right here. That's the only reason why you would bring out Medicham on Garchomp. If you went for High Jump Kick right here, great play on Blunder's part, but I expected him to go for the Ice Punch, as that's actually a 2-KO on Politoed after Rocks, which is crazy. So I'm going to sack my Garchomp. Basically, the game plan this entire game was bring out Kingdra as many times as possible and just spam Spec Scald because he has nothing. With Stealth Rock up, with the earlier Scald damage on Keldeo, nothing can take Spec Scald. He goes for the double Ice Punch. As I am going to sack my Garchomp. A good plan on his part going for double Ice Punch over going for like Thunder Punch, which I know he has, or any other attack that could knock out Politoed. I mean, Ice Punch was just a great play in general, but I am going to be able to bring out my Kingdra one more time, and like I said, I can spam Scald. He opts to actually sack his Landorus T, which I completely understand considering my Scizor actually sets up on this thing. Kingdra, whenever it comes out, beats it. Rotom beats it, and he can't switch into Latios, so it makes sense that his Landorus T would be the sack. Though I'm very grateful that he did end up sacking this because it also means that my Latios cannot be easily revenge killed by my opponent. Yes, he does have Jirachi that can easily switch in on it, but he has nothing that can outspeed it at this point. So he brings out Rotom. Another good play on Blunder's part because I don't want to stay in. I could go for the Scald, but I want Kingdra as healthy as possible to be able to take a fake out from Medicham and also knock it out with Scald. So I have to go out into my Latios. He definitely could have went for Thunder Wave or Will-O-Wisp right here, but he made the correct play in going for Volt Switch, probably anticipating me to want to switch out. Even if I stayed in, I couldn't knock him out Scald anyway, and like I said, I was in range of fake out after Volt Switch damage, so this was a really good play on Blunder's part, putting me in the Vortex, as you want to say, the Volt Turn combination, whatever you want to call it, because he is going to go out to Jirachi, and at this point, I really don't see that much use in my Latios. Keldeo is already checked by Scarf Rotom. I need to weaken it for Scizor, and honestly, he's just going to go for U-turn anyway, so I decided to just stay in and go right for the Thunder, trying to weaken this Jirachi. I know it's Spadef Rachi, but the more I weaken it, now it's 100% in range of Scald, 2 Scalds, and as well as the fact that my Scizor has a better chance of sweeping the longer that Rachi is, or the lower that Rachi is, as well as my Scarf Rotom has a chance of doing some late game sweeping as well, as long as Jirachi is weakened. So he's going to be able to knock me out with the Medichance Fake Out, but I do have another turn of Rain, as I am going to bring out Rotom over Kingdra. Now the reason I brought out Rotom over Kingdra is because I can go for Thunder. His ground type is gone, and Thunder threatens everything on his team. He brings out Jirachi, really nice play on his part, because obviously it can take 2 Thunders, which is surprising, but not surprising, I said obviously, because it's Spadef Rachi. Spadef Rachi is ridiculously bulky. It can actually take 2 Thunders after leftovers from Rotom. He told me he was like at 160 HP and it did like 116, so he can definitely take this one. Blunder's play, which actually to waste 2 more turns of Rain to 1, make my Thunders inaccurate and also get off this Healing Wish, which was also a very solid play, bringing back out Medicham. Now the reason he actually brought out Medicham over Keldeo was because Keldeo would go down to Volt Switch from Rotom anyway after Hazards, and by bringing back out Medicham, 1, it forces me to switch out. There's no way I am going for the Thunder right here, especially because it doesn't knock out Medicham, and 2, it's inaccurate with the Rain being gone. And like I said, it's a Mon that forces my Rotom to go for an inaccurate move, while Keldeo does check my Scizor. As long as he has his Rotom alive with the Will-O-Wisp, he can check my Scizor anyway. So I decided to sack my Politoed. I know that will go down to any attack that Blunder wants to go for, as Blunder does choose to go for Fake Out. It was the safest play all around. There was no way I was going out to Scizor there anyway. So able to sack my Politoed, but because of the Damp Rock, I do have more turns of Rain, and I can go right out to my Kingdra and just click Scald. Like I said, Scald does 2 a KO everything at this point. He brings out his Keldeo. Fair play. It makes sense why he wants to save his Medicham, because if he's actually able to stall out enough Rain turns with the Fake Out, plus with his Rotom, especially because Keldeo does take 2 turns right here to be able to be knocked out. So if he does stall out enough turns, he can force my Rotom to have to go for an inaccurate move like Thunder or Hydro Pump to knock it out. So he sacks the Keldeo to get off 2 turns of rain, as he is going to bring out Rotom. Again, another good play on my opponent's part, because I can't knock it out, and it's also forcing another turn of rain to be gone. But I am going to go for Scald. I go for Scald because if I hit him with the Scald, I can put this Rotom in range of Volt Switch from my Scarf Rotom, which is honestly my game plan to win. He's going to go for Volt Switch. It's not going to be able to knock on my Kingdra. However, it is going to put me in range of the Fake Out from Medicham. But at this point, I'm in a really, really nice position, because it might seem like it might seem pretty even, especially because I have to go for a Hydro Pump to knock out his Medicham. Scarf Thunder, I don't believe, knocks out Medicham from that range. I could be wrong, but I don't think Scarf Thunder knocks him out. And I also don't want to have to go for a move and potentially risk missing the Hydro Pump, because Hydro Pump is the only move that can knock him out. So I am going to go for the Scarf Volt Switch. After the Stealth Rock switch-ins that he took before and the Rough Skin damage that he took from my Garchomp, Volt Switch is a 2-hit KO. So I put myself in a position to win with Volt Switch. Let's say he swapped out into his Rotom right there. Volt Switch knocked him out, and if I went out to Scizor, Bullet Punch does put Medicham in range of Volt Switch anyway, so I pretty much put myself in position to win, because I can now go right back out on my Rotom. I know that the rain turn is going to end after he sacks his Rotom right here. He actually is only down to 2 Pokemon. It's only his Rotom and his Mega Medicham, so I can go right for the Volt Switch and knock out his Rotom after rocks. This is where that Scald damage was very, very crucial, because it meant that I could knock out his Rotom with the Volt Switch. Again, I am Scarf Rotom, so I am obviously offensive, so it's more than a regular Rotom would be, but I can knock out his Rotom with the Volt Switch, as Medicham is going to come out, and basically he has to hope for my DS to die, because Fake Out, even with a crit, would not be able to knock me out, and Blunder does not run Bullet Punch. Actually, if he had Fake Out crit into BP crit, maybe. As you can see, the rain does end, so he tried to put me in a position where I would have to go for an inaccurate move like Thunder or Hydro Pump, but I made the play that way. I did not have to go for any inaccurate move during the end game, and I was able to knock out Blunder, getting that solid 1-0 for King of Summer as we started off. So I get the first win versus Blunder. Definitely a good game. Go ahead and check out Blunder if you have not already. Maybe we'll actually stream some of these games as we get on, you know, more so into summer. But I hope you guys are hyped. Feel free to leave a like. Like I said, go ahead and check out Blunder. And yeah, until next time, guys. Later. Cue the outro.